I get those goosebumps every time. I need the Heimlich, throw that to the side. I get those goosebumps every time.
What's up, my Super Saiyan Blues? AJ here. This is part 3 of my story. Last part we left off at 2001. It's been a couple months since that video, and this video is probably going to be from 2001 to 2010, 11, or 12. Like I said in the last video, 2001, I was in college. Those couple years I spent in college from 2001 to 2003 were probably the best time of my life as a man and as a sexual being. Had a lot of girlfriends during college. Had a lot of partners. It got wild sometimes. But around 2002, 2003, I decided college wasn't for me. Actually, I decided that about a year earlier, but it took me a year to tell everybody that I was done with college. I was busy smoking weed and having sex. You know. So I got done with college. Probably really pissed my parents off about that because we did spend a lot of money and I've got no certificate or anything to show for it. But it was a good time to learn. I learned a lot about myself sexually, mentally, and emotionally. So about 2003, I had some buddies I was hanging out with, the Terry Boys. I worked for their dad and them. They had a mold removal and remediation company. I was with them for about a year and a half, making great money. Ended up buying I had my truck then too. While I was in college, I was working for Pep Boys. I don't know if y'all know what Pep Boys is. Kind of like AutoZone, O'Reilly, something like that, okay? I was a parts driver. They'd have little shops around the place, and they'd order parts, and I'd get in this little truck, and I'd drive it to them and bring them the parts, and be like, hey, how's it going, guys? And they'd be like, hey, how's it going, AJ? I'm like, shit like that. So, because of that job, I had bought a 2001 Blazer Extreme. Dark cherry metallic with gray interior. Ended up replacing all the door speakers and the back speakers and putting two 12-inch JL Audio W0s with a Pioneer Premier 450 watt amp in the back of that truck. I'd come down the street and I'd be knocking pictures off the wall. They actually started calling my house and asking my parents to unhook my sound system at 23 years old. You know, in the neighborhood, which my parents told him to F off because he's an adult, he'll do what he wants, you know, and I still do. But for a year I worked with the Terry Boys doing this mold remediation and stuff, and I was probably making the most money I've ever made in my life, folks. I was every 2 weeks almost $2,000, something like that. Because the son I was working with was the foreman, and I was the co-foreman at these jobs. And it was fun. We used to ride around. Look, I leave my house at 5 o'clock in the morning, Monday through Friday. Drive to their house, which was 45 minutes from my house. Chill with the boys for a little bit. We'd smoke, eat some breakfast, smoke, and then we'd get in the truck and go. And I'd be at work till We got done probably about 4:30 every day. Got back to the shop about 5, and then, like I said, I get home about 6 o'clock. I get home about 6 o'clock, I take a shower, eat dinner, and fall asleep because I was working my ass off. But lost that job for circumstances I don't want to discuss in this video, but let's just put it this way. It wasn't because of AJ. So there's that. I'm trying to remember when we moved to Baton Rouge. I can't remember when we moved to Baton Rouge. I think it was 2003 or 2004 we moved to Baton Rouge because we just did. I don't remember why exactly. We just did. Lived there from 2003 or 4 to 2010 or 11. I can't remember exactly. But living in Baton Rouge is amazing, folks. We actually lived 20 minutes from the LSU stadium. Guys, I'll do a video about tailgating at LSU one day because that is a story that would amaze you. Because people think that Southerners are assholes and they treat everybody different, stuff like that. When I tell you this story, you're going to think different because let's just put it this way. I went there with a quarter tank of gas and $2 in my pocket. Left drunk and full and had gas in my tank. That's all I'm saying. But living that far from LSU was cool. You could go down there on game weekends and tailgate around there and stuff like that. I'll do a video on that. Well, my dad's contract with his company ended and he had to find a job. Found a job here in Dallas. We moved here in 2015 and started living in Garland, Texas, which is from where my house is now, right down the road. And it was good, you know. From 2001 to 2010, 11, 12, or 13, whenever we moved back to Texas to live here in Dallas, I'll start next video from Dallas, from when we moved to Dallas to today. Those years were good. I had some good, I had decent health, but not great, and life was good. So the next video will be about moving to Dallas and the present. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember, I always tell you, be kind to one another. Peace out. And I love y'all.